Well, for better or worse, I had to move, and therefore I thought we'd do a little bit of a vlog video setting up the new gaming and editing space in my new house. This is the basement level of my home, and the goal is to kind of build out this area of the basement to be kind of like the editing and gaming space. IKEA route, of course, because you know that's what every respectable human being does. So for the IKEA desk, we use like a countertop for the desk. The Alex tends to be like the go-to for most people. The global situation that we found ourselves in means it's incredibly hard to find those in stock. So we are actually using the Helmer storage block. It's the same height, so like it shouldn't differ that much. Line this up. God, that was tedious. So for the tabletop, most people do the Carlby wood. I want to do something a little bit different. I kind of really like the Pinarp. It's 74 inches wide, so about my wingspan across. And the reason I really like the really long desk is that I can have my gaming monitor, my ultra-wide video monitor, and then I can have my tower on here as well. So I think this was the winner. And I like the texture of the wood too. It's a sharp wood. It just looks like a really good texture. But the idea is to kind of coat this wall in these acoustic panels. Not quite foam, they're acoustic panels. And it should do a pretty good job of kind of trying to get rid of some of the echo in this room. And the idea is to kind of deck this wall out here. And the cool thing is they kind of have a bit of a pattern to it, kind of a cool texture to it. So it's not just like a mundane wall that kind of has some color. And I kind of like the blues that this had. So I just picked these up on Amazon. You get, what, 6 squares? 6 squares or 1 foot by 1 foot. So you can do, 9 square feet, just 3 and 3. Well, we finished this wall. I really like the way the sound dampening foam works, and I can already tell it does make some improvement to the air conditioning, which is kind of in the other room. I think it is a little bit quieter in here thanks to this. I'm gonna go with kind of cyan color. That looks pretty darn sharp. So I'm going to have to find a way to tidy this up a little bit, but I have the receiver pointed out for the remote. I have the one cable kind of wired right up through the ceiling tile there. This cable is pretty ugly. I don't really know what to do with this guy yet. Maybe try and hide it somehow. Maybe trying to run it through this crack or something. I don't really know. That's the one complaint I have. But when you're stepping farther away, it doesn't look as noticeable. But again, I'm very impressed with how sticky it was. The back stick very, very good is going to be the gallery wall with multiple prints and photos and things. We're going to start with the Master Chief, of course. You come out a little bit from the plant, something like that. I think that would look pretty good. Might try and get a second opinion. Mary! Like this way? Oh. The problem is, keep in mind, there's a lot of stuff that goes below this. I mean, you have all those, and some of those are gonna be a lot deeper in here. So, I mean, I don't plan to use the Eclipse one anyway. So, maybe what we do then. So this needs to be like halfway, right? What do you think of that?
Right? And then this guy comes over.
I hate it. So, 2 IR remotes. So if we do lights off, light off, light on, light on. Ah, shoot. Nice. Okay. Heck yeah, that's awesome. I love that. That's so cool. Well, day 3 of the build, we're progressing pretty nicely. It's more so touch-ups and final things today. The desk is pretty much built up the way we want. We got the electronics laid out the way we want, keyboard, mouse, everything is set up on that respect. Figure out the mic situation once I get the chair built, and that's gonna be the big project today, is finishing up a few of the furniture items. We have the Marcus chair, a very common chair that a lot of gamers use from IKEA. We also have a lamp, the Vidya. I like it because it's like Vidya games. I don't know. We're gonna try and build those 2 things today. And then at that point, we are pretty much set at that point to try and get things going on this little work project and finish things off. That's pretty nice. Those are good. Oh yeah, that's a sweet look. Anyways, of course, just the cable management's always going to be the most difficult part with the desk kind of exposed to the room like this. So, thinking underneath cable runs will probably inevitably be the best way to do things. So I guess all that's left is to fire it up for the first time and see what happens. Hey, there we go. The thing I really like about this setup here is that this is a 34-inch ultra wide and then a 27-inch normal 16:9. And the height of both is very similar to each other. And so you can really put them like side by side. Granted, the bezel's kind of rough, but you can put them side by side with it still looking like a pretty good image across the board. This set on Amazon. Newer, I think is like the actual name of it. It's like a Chinese brand. It says like a different brand on the back of here, but I found these on Amazon, and these are really, really nice LED panels. And they're kind of like portable panels. So it's a little LED panel like that, plugs in via USB, so power source is USB. And so you can plug these in, like if you're portable, like using like a little battery bank. And so I've actually used these on video shoots. If you're kind of in a cramped space, don't know if you're gonna have a power source, these little guys really work quite well. And the nice thing is they work with traditional tripod mounts. So I have like some old tripods I use and mount, and they're very bright, as you can tell. Of course they have dimmers so you can turn them down too, but they're surprisingly bright for how small these little lights are. They actually do really, really well. And the fact they have a dimmer is super nice. The other thought was I could mount them up. Now these panels of course work great on the desk, but I wanted to try and free up some more desk space. So the idea I had is I can go through these roof panels here and then place the lights maybe a little further back. So like right here. We can now hit on and on. Those light me up pretty good. Oh, that's fantastic. It actually turns out a lot better than I thought it would. And like in retrospect, it would have made more sense to route the cable that way. So we're gonna try and break in the new setup here with some Call of Duty Modern Warfare, a game I absolutely hate but cannot stop playing. But the setup seems to be pretty good so far. Computer's handling everything really well. I left it on, been doing some stress test all day, no issues there. I like this setup because I have the microphone right here off to my side, my keyboard right here, mouse, all that stuff, all the RGB you can possibly handle. And of course, if we do any streaming things, I have one camera there, my lighting up top, sound dampening foam behind me for a little bit of quietness. In this little corner, it's noticeably less of an echo, which is fantastic. Up here, some of my old graphics cards, my old generations there. You know, all my Halo games, well not all of them, but some of the Halo games here, different various Halo collectibles I've picked up over the years. I have a lot more elsewhere that aren't here. Comics, some computer hardware down here, old cards, and of course all my books and things over there. We kind of got this shelf of fun here, you know, pictures of friends and awards and credentials for things, more hardware, 3D printer, all that kind of stuff, kind of going in there. The setup is pretty much working as expected. I got the dual keyboard layout. That's something I kind of alluded to. And again, the Corsair, my main driver for things like video editing, and it's been so long that I'm actually editing the video that I'm shooting right now. Also, of course, the Huntsman Mini, my new keyboard I've been using for gaming, like hosted videos in the future. Again, I can kind of like sit there and have that bookshelf as my backdrop, or shoot something kind of in the corner like this and have a workspace. If I'm like building a computer or reviewing a scanner or something like that, I kind of have my little like host table here. And then of course my streaming and video live setup here. I was a little worried about all the weight of all this on the desk, so I decided to add, I think it's called a dowel. I don't know, a piece of wood to try and support the weight. I think this is probably a pretty good move, especially in the long term of trying to keep the desk from bowing. It is thick wood. I think it's walnut, but it's pretty good wood. But I think in the long run, this might be a good idea to try and keep it from bending a little bit. Again, with a pretty good amount of weight on the desk itself. I tried to put the heavy stuff at the computer right over one of the shelving units, and this mounted monitor here is underneath one of the other ones. But, there's a lot of stuff in the middle as well that's pretty much freestanding right here. But yeah, I think it's really coming together, and I'm very happy with how it's all set up. Well, anyway, I hope this was kind of an interesting little journey for you. I had so much fun putting this all together. I've been trying to plot and build something like this for quite some time, and I finally have the space to do it, my own kind of personal studio and desk space and office space. Thank you for watching, and let's start going back to your regular scheduled program, which is kind of just randomness on this channel anyway. So, have a good one, everybody.